Loose change for getting down. It's Friday. Loose change for getting down. It's Friday and I'm on fire. And I know that I'll break your heart. And I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. 'Cause these cars are just it, so won't you come?
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Loose chat. Up in here. Hold on. Oh, there we are. I'm back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and you're watching another episode of Between the Ropes, and I am joined tonight by my great crew. Let me go ahead and start out. Let's go over here. Over here. And we'll say that he likes his bacon crispy, and he goes by Crispy Bacon. How you doing tonight?
Not too bad. A lot of stuff to talk about, but not too bad.
All right. Yep. You're still kind of sounds like you're distance away there, Chris. So it kind of sounds like you're a little distance away there. And of course, welcome in Christy Wilson. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Rocking this.
Rocking it.
Blackpool Combat Club.
All right, and welcome in Mr. Mess Around Dave. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I just woke up about 10 minutes ago, so yeah.
I'm gonna say that's actually does not surprise me at all.
Should it? No.
Nope.
Definitely not. Typically, that's kind of usually what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But so when it comes to it, we're gonna start out with a very interesting topic. As we know, last Friday, I'm on fire. Okay, last Friday, we had that news that Vince McMahon had stepped down as CEO, or I should say retired. He officially retired. Okay,
Retired.
and so when it comes to it, like, I know that there was some fans out there who were like, "Oh, that means the end of WWE." No. Let's not say that's the end of WWE, because I'll tell you what, Triple H and Stephanie are going to shake things up. I'm going to tell you, they are. There are a lot.
I believe it.
Because you got to think, a lot of the wrestlers who were released and stuff, they loved Triple H. So if Triple H can reach out to them, I guarantee a lot of them are going to want to come back simply because of Triple H. Like, people in the industry have said nothing but good things about Triple H. And then the women's division is very, very excited because they feel like Stephanie is going to get the women's division kind of back up to where it originally was in the first place.
Yep.
So they're feeling very, very good about that too. And so Tim Hendricks is saying, bring back Bray Wyatt. Now, I will say, it actually would not shock me if they did.
Right.
It really wouldn't. Like, because I know Triple H was very, very high on Bray Wyatt when he was there. Triple H loved him.
Yep.
So it would not actually shock me if Triple H was like, "Hey, Steph, we need to reach out and we need to bring Bray back." Now, we kind of know that. Huh?
And probably work with them, because I'm sure if he did come back, he'd probably want to come back as a different in-ring character.
Or
that's just an idea.
Or, if they really, really liked his character of The Fiend, which wouldn't surprise me if they did, that I could potentially see them bringing that character back. Because
Return of the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah. So
Better
mess
for
around.
Dave.
What's your overall thoughts on Vince officially retiring?
Yeah, he's kind of forced to with everything going on, all the lawsuits and stuff,
Mhm.
the hush money. If it wasn't for that, he'd still be gone. We all know he would. But I think it's time for somebody else to take over. It's been time for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
It needs a new voice, new direction. I think Triple H is the guy for it.
And Stephanie too.
72 for sure.
Yeah, they are definitely the people for it. So I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
don't be surprised. Like, and I know that people were talking about at the very beginning. People were mentioning how it may not be changed at the very beginning, and you know what? It may not be a different direction at the very beginning, and that's only because it's like WWE came out and said they want to make sure that their shareholders and everything understand that it's still going to be okay in the direction of the leaders that are there.
Now,
So they
is
don't want
Vince
to.
still head of creative, or did he drop
No,
that too?
No, he's out
Vince,
of that as well.
yeah, Vince
Pritchard's
is
now running.
no
Thank
longer
God.
in that. So what I'm saying though, when it comes to that, is that I think this is going to be a gradual thing. Like it's going to slowly be changing because they can't go into it too fast because they don't
Mhm.
want to make the shareholders panic.
Yeah.
Is what they don't want to do. So they want to gradually and slowly do this. So I think that they're going to.
Yeah. So basically, WWE is in rebuilding mode right now due to the change in leadership.
Well,
I mean, that's kind of how I see it, though. When
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
from Vince McMahon to Stephanie and Triple H, it's a rebuilding process, especially if they want to keep the shareholders happy.
I
It
think it's
can-
an upgrade.
Yeah,
it can be,
isn't
but
that
I'll
great?
tell you, there's a lot of people that are super excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot there, like wrestlers in the back, fans. There's so many people that
Mhm.
are like, oh, especially like because they knew like what Triple H did with NXT. That
Mhm.
everyone was like, dude, this guy knows how to run a promotion.
He
So-
does. He made NXT a totally separate thing, and it was awesome.
So
It
it
was
would
better.
not.
It was
To
better
the
than
where it
on
became a
SmackDown.
separate brand, and they competed in Survivor Series.
Well, it's like what I heard, I think, from this past SmackDown. It was.
I think you might see guys like Finn Balor and guys like that finally get their push and get titles.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
Pritchard
Chris is saying
and-
something. Hold on.
Yeah, Chris, you're still at a distance away.
Yeah.
No, it was Pritchard and Triple H wrote
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was. But see, the thing is like, I think the biggest thing that might have caught people off guard is because people were talking about SmackDown. They're like, there wasn't a lot of change on. I'm like, yeah, there wasn't going to be because that show was already written and Vince McMahon stepped down on that day. So you can't just expect them to be like, oh yeah, we're changing everything now.
Right.
No, they
I
had to
think
go
they
with what they had on that night.
I was
I
gonna say
agree.
I think they did tweak it a little bit because during one tag team match with the New Day on commentary, Xavier Woods mentioned Ring of Honor, and usually in WWE they don't mention other promotions like New Japan, Ring of Honor, that sort of thing. So everyone was like, he said what?
Well, I know there was a few things that they might have, thrown in there and changed.
Yeah.
But they were not going to go and change the whole script because they
No.
didn't have time to do it because of
No.
the time that Vince retired. So,
Mhm. So they might have tweaked it just a tiny bit, but not too much to where you would have noticed.
I was gonna say I agree with Tim Hendricks' comment. I hope they get rid of scripted promos.
I think they will. I really think they will. And I'm only saying this is look because I'm a huge Triple H fan. I'm a huge Stephanie fan. So I really think that they're going to do what's best for the company, and they're gonna look at this and be like, okay, what's best? Now, think about if you're Shane McMahon at this point, right?
You're kicking
and you
yourself.
just left. You're like, oh man,
I could have been in on that.
you're like, man, I left at the wrong time. I don't know. It's definitely going to be one of those interesting things. So you might even see Shane come back at some point. I'm just saying, at some
I don't
point,
know.
you might actually see an angle, right? You might end up seeing an angle to where Shane comes back and he's like, hey, I want to battle with you, Stephanie, for control or something. So you might see some kind of angle like that.
I kind of hope not, because the last time he was there, he tried to make it all about himself.
Yeah, it may be better if he just stays away. And also, I've heard that he and Stephanie don't really get along. So I think if they were to work together again, they would just start clashing and button heads.
So I'm saying hi guys and girl, and then she's also saying yeah, she is awesome and not the Miz. The Miz
You
is
watch
awesome.
your tongue.
I like the Miz. This is awesome. The Miz is awesome.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest thing too that people are wanting to know. You know, what do you think is going to happen with Brock Lesnar? Because I will say everybody got worked.
Yep. They did.
Everybody got flat
They were
out
like,
worked.
"Oh, great, he's gone. Who are we going to replace him with?" And then the
He
name
got me.
Goldberg comes up, and then everyone's like, "No, no."
Yeah, because everybody was like,
Happy
"Oh,
about that,
Brock's gone," and oh, he's gone. Oh wait, what? He's back. What the heck happened? It's like, yep, he got worked. Everybody got freaking worked.
Yeah.
So
I heard he
I'm
got
okay with
talked to.
that.
It's like, you know what? Just come back, beat Theory with the briefcase, and just
We have a punching bag for you, so to speak.
we're gonna punch him back in the back. Why don't you just go beat the crap out of that thing?
that's basically what it was. It was mainly just, hey, come back, beat up Theory a little bit.
Mhm.
It'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
Take your frustrations out on Theory.
Exactly. Beat him up with the briefcase.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of funny though to just see Lesnar pick up Theory and like just basically throw him across the ring.
Yeah.
Like a rag doll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically whip him like a rag doll, pretty much, and then leave big dents in the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm like, oh my god.
It was really cool though.
Mhm.
So
Oh, yeah.
speaking of that, we can move on to our next thing because we know what next Saturday is. We all know next Saturday.
SummerSlam.
The weekend.
SummerSlam. SummerSlam is
Mhm.
here. I think we've kind of all talked about, you know, the direction of like Theory and Bobby Lashley and how we think it's going to pan out. Like we've
Right.
already said that we feel like if the Theory and Lashley match kicks off SummerSlam,
Right.
then we all feel like there's going to be a cash in at
Mhm.
the end of the night. That's kind of where we're all at. Is we're like we feel like there might be some sort of cash in if the match opens.
Right.
But I think one match that could really gather everybody's attention, agree with me or not, that's
Mhm.
fine. But I think one match to really open with that would grab a lot of people's attention would be Seth Rollins versus Riddle.
Yeah.
That would
Ooh,
grab
that'd be good.
everybody's attention because I'm telling you, like that match has the potential to be match of the night.
Banger.
That match can be an absolute banger. They are so good in the ring. I can't wait to see this match because I know it's going to be so good.
I feel like
Oh,
Riddle
yeah.
will win that one.
So, Chris, we'll go ahead and we'll start out with that match first, and we'll go ahead and we'll say, Seth Rollins and Riddle. What do you foresee happening in this match? Who do you think wins?
I think Riddle. I think Riddle's been on a hot streak lately. I saw something where throughout 2022, Seth has lost like a total of 50 matches.
Mm.
Yeah.
Including pay-per-views. So,
But
I mean, I know. I mean, it's just a number, but I feel like Riddle will take it.
yeah, but that's why you can look at this now and be like, okay,
They're
who
both
needs
good.
it more? Technically, at this point in time, Seth Rollins needs
Rollins.
it more, and this loss would not
Mhm.
hurt Riddle in any way.
Nope.
This loss would not hurt Riddle.
Nope.
But I
So
don't think it would hurt Seth either.
No, I don't think it would. It wouldn't hurt either of them.
yeah, it won't. But when it comes to it, Rollins needs it more, and so I'm
Right.
saying it would not shock me if they ended up giving this victory to Seth Rollins because he needs it. So mess around Seth Rollins and Riddle.
Well, you know I'm a huge Riddle guy, but I like Rollins as well. They're both good. But I agree with you. But Rollins took the last 2 losses on pay-per-view, so he needs his win more than Riddle does.
He took 3, actually.
Yeah, he took 3 because you remember he lost
Oh,
3
yeah.
consecutive matches to Cody.
Yep.
That's right.
And then technically he didn't win Money in the Bank either, so I
Nope.
guess
Yeah.
I guess you can
Nope.
call it 4.
4.
That'll be 5.
Um,
I like
but
that.
he's kind of like one of those guys that he stays relevant regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And so Gene is saying that they can hardly hear you, Chris. So what's ever going on with your audio, people can barely hear what you're saying. And so Brandon is saying Seth needs nothing, and then Tim saying I think a Seth loss would be part of a bigger push for him towards WrestleMania. I really do too. Like I
It's
feel,
possible.
and you know what? I could definitely see that because right now, if Seth did lose, they could be like, hey, right now you're going to lose a little bit. And then once we get closer to Mania, we're going to start
Mhm.
having you win again. And it's just kind of one of those typical things that you may end up seeing.
Yeah.
But overall, right now, if I had to take a guess, I think I'm feeling like they are going to give the match to Seth Rollins. So I'm going with Rollins. Christy, how about you?
I like both guys, but I'm going to go with Seth. He has the 3 losses against Cody Rhodes at 3 straight pay-per-views. He didn't win Money in the Bank. So I personally think he's overdue for a pay-per-view victory. So I think he's going to beat Riddle.
It's coming.
Even though I think both of them are going to make the other look really good in the match.
Oh yeah.
There's no question in my mind about that.
This is definitely a match that we've been waiting for.
Yeah,
You can't be in a match with Seth Rollins and not be good. I mean, he's just that good. He makes everybody look good.
he does make everybody look good, and his opponents make him look good too. So I think it's equal there.
You know what? But that's why I think when you go back to that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins match in Hell in a Cell when Cody
with the torn pec out.
Yeah. When Cody had that torn pec and then people were talking about,
Mhm.
Cody was phenomenal.
He was.
He was, okay, but let me tell you, at some point, people do need to give credit to Seth Rollins because he protected Cody as much as he possibly could in that match.
Yep, he made Cody look good too, despite the fact Cody was the one with the injury.
He did every possible thing he could to not injure Cody Rhodes. And so I've always said at some point, like, this is stuff that Seth Rollins does. And sometimes I don't think people give him enough credit for it. Like, people talk about his character, like, his character is annoying. I don't like Rollins. I'm like, okay, but I don't think people are looking at the bigger picture. What does Rollins do for the company? He helps everybody. Like, the dude can make anybody look good.
Mm-hmm. He does. And his character, he can be anything. He can be a heel. He can be a face. He's good at both. He can sound annoying. He can laugh annoyingly like the Joker, or he can just be a badass. Either way, it works. He just knows how to work it.
Yeah.
And he's just a really, really, really good in-ring performer.
But that was the only reason why I wanted to bring that up anyways, is because I just felt like Seth wasn't getting enough credit. And I feel like he should have got more credit for that. When people, I'm not taking anything away from Cody. Okay. I still think what he did was phenomenal. That's something that you're probably not going to see again.
Nope.
But we got to look at Seth too and be like, hey, props, man. Props.
He did it. He did what he had to do. Thumbs up.
Yeah, that was freaking awesome. So he definitely did his job. So, mess around. I forgot who you said you were taking. You said Seth?
Yeah, I'm going with Seth.
Yeah. And so Brandon's like, what does Seth do for the company? Easy. He has amazing outfits.
Some of his outfits make you question, okay, did you murder Cookie Monster? Did you slaughter an ostrich? What the heck's going on, Rollins?
You know what, though? I learned that Rollins does that just because he knows it annoys people and they complain about it. So he does it on purpose.
You know why else I like Rollins?
What's that?
Bears fan. He's a Bears fan.
He's a Bears fan. Yeah, you can just check his Twitter account. When the Bears lose, he tweets out, I hate football.
Yep.
He does. I see it and I laugh, and then sometimes I'll quote him. Sometimes I'll just say, like Seth Rollins says, I hate football.
Yeah, so he's used to doing that a lot. All right.
The Bears usually stink it up a lot of time, and he's not happy about it.
So moving on to the next match, but here's Chris. Looks like Chris is coming back here. We'll see what his audio's like when he comes back. Yeah, let's go ahead and move into that Theory and Bobby Lashley match. So
let's do it.
When we talk about Theory and Bobby Lashley, Christy, I'll go ahead and start out with you. Are you taking Theory or are you taking Bobby Lashley?
I'm going to go with Lashley because he did just win the title at Money in the Bank. So I don't see WWE taking it off him anytime soon. But then again, you never know. They could swerve us. You never know. But I'm going to go with Lashley.
Well, let's say this, though, too, okay? We have to realize now Vince is no longer in charge.
Yeah, so
we don't know what Triple H, like, the thing is even though Theory's talented, which he is, he's very talented, he's great on the mic, he's got great in-ring skills,
he does.
but we have no idea what Triple H and Stephanie think of Theory.
Right.
We don't know. So before, I would have said potentially I would have said maybe Theory wins, but Vince is gone, so I'm like, maybe not so much now. Maybe Lashley actually retains now.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm thinking.
So mess around, I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that myself now that McMahon's gone and he was McMahon's guy. Stephanie
Vince's
and
pet
Triple H.
cat.
Stephanie and Triple H kind of like, hey, we're not doing this theory. We're gonna screw Vince. We're gonna screw Vince by not pushing him. So you never know, but I don't see Theory. If Theory wins, I don't think he's cashing in that same night and winning the
Right.
title.
He'll probably wait until maybe after Clash of the Castle. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Everything's really up in the air right now.
It is because we don't